Please rise if you are able. If you are able, please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command, car ton bras s'est porté l'épée, il s'est porté la croix. Ton histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Please be seated. Welcome graduates, family, friends, and honored guests to Convocation at the University of Waterloo. My name is Vivek Goel, and it's my honor to serve as President and Vice Chancellor and to preside over today's ceremony where we celebrate our graduates and their accomplishments. Thank you to Julianne de Rocher, our anthem singer today. As we begin today's celebrations, I want to acknowledge that Convocation is a special time for our community. I ask that we all remain respectful of this celebration and of each other during our time together today. The university values having many diverse viewpoints within our community and remains committed to supporting an environment of free expression and free inquiry. This is central to our core mission to advance learning and knowledge through teaching, research, and scholarship. Today is a time of celebration. Graduates and their supporters have looked forward to this day for years. Many have traveled long distances to celebrate with us. We expect respect for our graduates, their supporters, and everyone here during today's ceremony. Convocation is the culmination of our students' hard work and dedication. To our graduates, I want to acknowledge the particular challenges faced by you throughout your years here. Adjusting to university life can be daunting at the best of times. Your journey the past few years has also been marked by an unprecedented pandemic, a horrific hate-motivated attack on our campus, and ongoing global conflicts that have and continue to deeply impact many in our community. Through it all, you demonstrated resilience and perseverance. These attributes will serve you well as you enter the next phase of your lives. Today's celebration is based on tradition. The Haudenosaunee peoples also have a rich and vibrant culture that embraces knowledge sharing. It is important to reflect and acknowledge that the University of Waterloo's campuses in Waterloo, Kitchener, and Cambridge are situated on the Haldimand Tract, land 6 miles on each side of the Grand River, granted to the Haudenosaunee of 6 nations. The land inside and surrounding the Haldimand Tract, including our Stratford campus, is the traditional territory of the Attawandaron, Anishinaabe, and Haudenosaunee. I also acknowledge and recognize this area is now home to many diverse First Nation, Inuit, and Métis groups. As part of today's ceremony, a number of Indigenous components play a prominent role. Their inclusion reflects our commitment to truth and reconciliation. Our Eagle staff led our procession today ahead of our mace. The mace is a traditional symbol of European origins, while the Eagle staff reflects the wisdom, strength, and honor of those that carry it in representation of nations across Turtle Island. We will start the ceremony with a special Indigenous opening. It is my privilege to welcome the Cedar Hill Singers and Elder Mayangan Henry, Indigenous Knowledge Keeper. As they make their way to the stage, I would like to extend a special thank you. Elder Henry provides a special Indigenous opening and closing to all of our ceremonies. His words serve an important role in the reconciliation process, and I've seen the impact they have on our graduates, our guests, and our university.
Amino nakshik, maingan indejnikas, deshkan zibi and onjiba, mayandodem, get your monado, chimigwech minwa, kukina wasiak mampi, get your monado, chimigwech minwa, kukina mino bamadaziwin. Just wanted to share a couple words in my language. It was once told to us that we couldn't speak our language. And one time we couldn't even attend post-secondary education. We'd have to give up our status as an Indigenous person if we wanted to hire a lawyer, or congregate in groups of 3 in urban settings. And it wasn't that long ago when the last residential school closed in Canada. This country has a history, and not always been told in the way that Indigenous people seen it. There's many stories that are still out there that talk about how Canada formed partnerships with the newcomers that came to North America. And during those times, there was tremendous changes that happened on the lands here. Over time, things changed drastically for Indigenous people. In fact, to the point where they decided that we were no longer relevant. So they created schools that we now know as residential schools. And that lasted for over 100 years in Canada. It took our children from their homes and told them that they couldn't speak their language or practice their ceremonies. We lived in that era or error for a number of years, and then things changed. We started understanding as a nation the benefits that Indigenous people held so dearly. And we started seeing that there is benefits by knowing what Indigenous people can offer to a society with our knowledge of medicine, with our deep-hearted responsibility to keep this earth healthy as possible, and to deliver a tone of friendship that will align across all people that live here in we call Turtle Island. The university that you attended made a major commitment to reconciliation. It was because they knew these terrible facts, and they knew that there was something we can do to create better equality in this country. So I want to give thanks to the leadership of your university for the things that they decided to commit to and to build a relationship now that will make things better for all of us, because an educated Indigenous person will help this world because they'll bring the balance of all the technology, and they'll always ask the question, how will we make this a better place? So if there's Indigenous students in this night's graduation, we honor you, but we honor all of you because of the things that you bring, the dedication that you've devoted in order to get here today, and your supporters, your family, your friends. But I want to acknowledge one more. It's those that maybe aren't here no more. Our loved ones who had maybe moved on or living in countries where we can't reach them. But we want to think about them because they want to be here with you as you celebrate this great opportunity to share this beautiful day. And so we'll think about those as you come across the stage. We'll think about the happiness that you feel in your heart and how we can make this world a great place if we choose to. With that said, our drum spoke very clearly that we are still connected to our beautiful Mother, the Earth. At Eagle Staff talks about bravery, strength, and honor, and we can actually do these things together. And let's give it a try, because I think it's time. Miigwech, everybody. Have a good evening. Looking forward to you across the stage today.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, President Vivek Goel, the academic procession, our special guests, all our lovely parents and friends that are here today to support the graduating class of 2024. Welcome to Convocation. It is an honor for me to stand before you as the University of Waterloo's 12th Chancellor. And today, after this ceremony, I can honestly tell you it is my first day ceremonially on the job. Thank you to our wonderfully diverse and inclusive university community. Thank you to the Academic Senate for selecting me for this incredible role. I'm truly privileged and humbled. And earlier this morning, I had my family and friends fill up many rows as I was getting installed. And it is the best feeling to be surrounded by those who care for you, who love you, and who have helped you to get here today, and for you to celebrate this incredibly special day with them. So make sure you enjoy that time together. As I embark on this ceremonial role as Chancellor, I'm eager to learn from our Indigenous elders and communities. In fact, today was the first time, twice, I had the opportunity to participate with you. I just need to get my dance moves in. I need different shoes, and you need to give me some singing lessons. But Elder Henry and the team hopefully will integrate me into the process for the next few ceremonies. I'm definitely inspired by their idea that this work, our work here at Waterloo, should lead to a sustainable world for future generations. So when I became Chancellor and it was announced that I was taking on this ceremonial role, I was super excited because it was a chance for me to come back home. Now, home for me and home for most of you is where your parents live. Home is where you grow up as a person that you are today. It's where, in my case, I attended this university, and I earned all 3 of my degrees here at the University of Waterloo. It's also where I can get a Tim Hortons coffee whenever I want, because I live in California, and it's a long ways to come here. But whenever I'm home, it's the first thing I do. My family emigrated to Waterloo 36 years ago. And I really wish my parents were actually here for this ceremony, because both of them are science teachers. And what an amazing convocation for them to have attended this evening. They had been living in Nigeria, Africa for 30 years and teaching. My sister and I were born in Nigeria. I grew up in Africa. And like every parent who dreams, or parents who dream of the best education possible for their children, my parents dreamt of emigrating to Canada. So at the Canadian Consulate in Nigeria, the immigration officer asked my dad where in Canada our family would be moving. And my dad said, well, I don't really know Canada that well, but my son has to go to engineering school. And my daughter has to go to medical school. Because that's pretty much the formula an Indian family followed back then, maybe even now today. Now, the immigration officer coincidentally happened to be from the Kitchener-Waterloo area. And he said, I know exactly the place you should go. The University of Waterloo has a great engineering school. And so without asking me, my dad asked for the application forms from the University of Waterloo. He filled most of it out. And before you know it, I got admitted. It's the only university I applied to. And at the age of 15 years old, the 4 of us packed our bags for Waterloo. We arrived, and 2 days later, literally after we landed in Toronto, I started my first day in mechanical engineering at the age of 15 here at the University of Waterloo. My sister, later, within a year, moved to Sweden. She practices as a physician still today in Sweden, but before she left, she met her future husband, who was doing his PhD at the University of Waterloo. And for 35 years that have followed since that day we arrived, my parents have been high school teachers, science, biology, and chemistry teachers in the Kitchener-Waterloo area. So many of their students have actually come to this graduation and completed degrees here at the University of Waterloo. The reason I'm telling you all of this, very simply, is that in the job description for a chancellor, it says it's a ceremonial role, and you're the global ambassador of the University of Waterloo. Well, guess what? The immigration officer in Nigeria was a global ambassador for the University of Waterloo. All of you are global ambassadors for the University of Waterloo. And I'm fully invested in Waterloo, as you can tell. I also got married in this town. My daughter had her first birthday, and the list goes on. Education is the currency in which all of us here today are invested. Education brings opportunities. It improves lives, and it makes the world a better place. So even though my parents are back home today, I still want to say thank you. I appreciate everything they've done for me, and I love them very much. And more importantly, to all the parents that are here today, thank you for dreaming to send your children to the University of Waterloo. And as I think about your graduation, I call on all of you to become global ambassadors to help me as your chancellor do an incredible job over the next 3 years to connect the world to Waterloo and to connect Waterloo to the world. Because we may forget that this country, Canada, depends upon an incredible immigration engine that has made us so successful. And it will continue to remain an important engine for the growth of Canada. So congratulations to all of you for taking on this additional job as you leave the university today. But wherever you are, wherever you go, never forget this institution. The education that you have received here in the classroom and through the co-op program, the values and the experiences that have been instilled in you, they have the power to change lives. Sometimes, even the life of a 15-year-old Indian boy of Sikh cultural heritage, born and brought up in Africa. So let's take a moment and talk about the future. In between the last convocation and this convocation, for the last 2 hours, I went over to the Perimeter Institute and had a dose of quantum computing and theoretical physics and was immersed in science. It's pretty cool, pretty cool. I'm an investor. It's my day job. I'm always curious about what's next. And I'm sure all of you are extremely curious about what's next. I mean, we've got artificial intelligence. We have machine learning. We have new terminologies that we can't even understand what the implications of them are going to be. But I deeply believe we're at the cusp of another technological revolution in the world over the next decade. Certainly the decade in which you're going into, which will have a tremendous impact on your lives. The jobs that you might even go into, the companies may not even exist today. You may create them, or you may develop the ideas that become those organizations and the next institutes. So I can tell you as an investor, the universities are the best place to find ideas. You've got lots of ideas coming out of your degree here at Waterloo. The talent is right here. The talent at the University of Waterloo. All of you have been dreaming about new ways to solve problems. And solving problems means opportunities. You've lived through pretty exciting and I would say very interesting times over the past 5 years, certainly unprecedented times over the last 5 years. But in addition to a degree, you've got another degree. It's called the ability to change. And that's your single biggest asset. Whatever you do in the future, whether you're looking for a job or you're going to do graduate work, or you're pitching an idea to someone like me or another investor, they're going to be looking out for how adaptive to change you are. You've made friends, your classmates, your teammates, colleagues, who you can team up with in the future and collaborate. By the way, we have 253,000 alumni all around the world who are also available to collaborate with you and to connect with you. You have a sense of what your values are. All of you care deeply about your values more than even the companies you're going to work for. You know what excites you and what you care about. So today is a happy milestone. You're ready to take on the world. Look, it's taken me 24 years since I left this campus to stand here today as your chancellor. I never dreamt I would be the chancellor of the University of Waterloo. It's not something you think about in your career path. But now that I'm here, I am convinced that one of you in the next 20 years, maybe with the help of artificial intelligence, will come back here as Chancellor of the University of Waterloo. One of you will become the Prime Minister of Canada. And one of you will win a Nobel Prize. At least one for all of the above. And many of you will become billionaires in creating the next generation of companies that are going to excite and change the world. There will be many, many more accomplishments and milestones along the way. But just remember, you cannot do it alone. Life is a journey. We get a degree, as you're doing today. So many people help to make that happen. Some stay with us, others leave. But we will always remember them and their contributions to our journey. We must remain grateful. We have a lot to get done, but we can't do it alone. Take a moment today and give a big hug to all your loved ones who have come here to celebrate you, who have dreamt about you having this day today. And as I love to do every single day, and they're getting tired of this now, I take pictures every hour of the day. Capture those memories. You just never know when a picture you take today might actually have the dream that will change your life tomorrow. So I congratulate you on this incredible milestone, this incredible accomplishment, and we are all thrilled and jazzed that you are graduating today. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Kirsten Mueller. I am a professor and a chair in the Department of Biology. Mr. Chancellor, I present Professor Barbara Moffat. Professor Moffat is a plant biologist whose research focused on the role of enzymes in plant development and was a pioneer in the early aspects of molecular genetics. In her teaching, she encouraged students to think critically rather than memorize facts. She was a biology program advisor for most of her career, and her commitment to students led to her receiving the University of Waterloo Distinguished Teaching Award in 2007, and she served as Associate Dean of Science, Student Relations for 10 years. She considers being able to share her passion for science with hundreds of students each year and then to see them flourish as her greatest honor. Mr. Chancellor, in recognition of her outstanding accomplishments in research, teaching, and service to the university, I ask you to present Distinguished Professor Emeritus upon Professor Barbara Moffat.
I am honored to confer upon you, Barbara Moffat, the title of Distinguished Professor Emerita. I extend my sincere congratulations.
It is my pleasure to now welcome Mario Canelio, Professor and Chair from Earth and Environmental Sciences, to the podium.
Mr. Chancellor, I present Professor Sherry Schiff. Professor Schiff is a widely recognized leader in her research field and is responsible for creating an internationally renowned research program in environmental and isotope biogeochemistry in the Department of Earth and Environmental Sciences. Professor Schiff quickly established herself as an outstanding researcher and dedicated teacher right until her recent retirement in December 2023. Her career is one of remarkable and sustained productivity and innovative research, as well as significant service contributions to the department. Professor Schiff's research program is very focused on training the next generation of scientists. Professor Schiff is an important mentor to women in a field previously male-dominated, successfully combining busy family life with a field-oriented research program. Mr. Chancellor, in recognition of her outstanding accomplishments in research, teaching, and service to the university, I ask you to present Distinguished Professor Emerita upon Professor Sherry Schiff.
I am honored to confer upon you, Sherry Schiff, the title of Distinguished Professor Emerita. I extend my sincere congratulations.
It is now my pleasure to welcome Chris Hauser, Dean for the Faculty of Science, to the podium.
Mr. Chancellor, I present Danielle Pace. 10 years ago, Danielle sat where you graduates are today. As a member of the class of 2014, she received her BSc Pharm and then went on to attain a PharmD degree in 2018. Upon graduation, Danielle worked at Holland Bloorville Kids Rehabilitation Hospital as a clinical pharmacist, where she demonstrated her commitment to optimizing healthcare outcomes for children of all abilities, especially those with complex continuing care needs. She then went on to McKesson, Canada, as a manager of pharmacy operations, supporting over 1,000 independent pharmacies across Canada, and eventually to her role as the Chief Pharmacist Officer, CPO, for the Canadian Pharmacists Association. Danielle's career demonstrates her passion for pharmacy and interest in understanding and experiencing all aspects of the profession, from community pharmacy to hospital pharmacy to industry and to advocacy. As the inaugural CPO, Danielle is responsible for driving strategic efforts and providing leadership. Danielle was involved in the first cohort of the school's Women in Pharmacy Leadership Program, designed to build leadership capacity and empower women in pharmacy to achieve their full potential. She continues to mentor pharmacy students here at Waterloo and across the country, inspiring them on their journey and propelling the profession forward. Mr. Chancellor, I am pleased to welcome Danielle Pace to the podium to address Convocation.
I'm going to take it in for a second. Chancellor Singh-Batcher, President Goel, Dean Hauser, members of Convocation, graduates, guests, good evening. It is an honor and a privilege to be here today to celebrate the great achievements of the graduating class of 2024. I have one goal today, and maybe it's the pharmacist in me, but I want to inject some inspiration into each and every one of you. Give you the magic pill, if you will. And what is that? It's to encourage you to dream big. 10 years ago, almost exactly to the day, I was in your very shoes at my convocation. Today, I help lead a national association shaping and influencing the future of healthcare in this country. I sit at tables as a member of the leadership team, informing decisions and developing healthcare strategies through work with Health Canada and Canada's Drug Agency. I speak to elected officials at the House of Commons in Ottawa on critical issues like pharmacare and access to primary care. And the best part about it is I'm doing it with passion and I'm having fun along the way. And that is possible for you as well. When I was thinking about what I could share with you tonight, what advice could I offer, I was reminded that I am speaking to a class that has already demonstrated incredible strength and tenacity. I should really be getting advice from you. You have achieved your degree through some truly unprecedented times in history. You have already proven that you can do hard things. You know what it's like to have to pivot, to adapt, to push through extraordinary levels of uncertainty. You've got a track record of finding your way to success. You did it. You are here. Can we just stop for a second and celebrate that? Woo! And while we're at it, let's please take a moment to appreciate the love and support you receive from those dear ones present here and in spirit with us today. Grandparents, parents, family, friends. It's your day to celebrate too. You were instrumental in getting these graduates here, so congratulations and thank you. Graduates, I want you to know that you're leaving here today with a prestigious degree from a world-renowned university. There are Waterloo graduates all over the world applying their knowledge and skills in the most incredible ways. Your Waterloo degree is powerful. It will open many doors for you. Waterloo is creating a legacy of bold leaders, of change makers who are willing and able to tackle the wicked problems in this world, and there are many. My family is from Goa, a place in India, and I was born in Nairobi, Kenya. My parents, like the Chancellor, emigrated to Canada when I was very little. They gave up everything that they'd ever known to come here. They left their jobs, their friends, their family, and the comforts of their familiar life, and they started over. They did this so that my sister and I could have a better life, so that we could have access to an education that would unlock possibilities. Growing up, I always wanted to make sure that their sacrifices were not made in vain. I worked hard in school. I made the most of every opportunity I was given. I earned a science degree and secured a position with a global pharmaceutical company upon graduation. And by most standards, I was on track. But there was something in me that I knew I would be settling. I knew I had more to offer. So I listened to my gut, to that little voice inside my head telling me to keep going, and I took a risk. I went against the advice of many and went back to school to earn my pharmacy degree at the University of Waterloo. I can confidently say it was the best decision I ever made. At Waterloo, I learned to solve problems. I learned to be open-minded and to be creative. I learned that mistakes and failures do not crush you. In fact, they make you stronger. And I was also intentional about living my education beyond the classroom. I put myself out there and created opportunities by looking for ways to add value to a situation. I joined clubs, was on student council, and I even entered pitch competitions. I said yes to every new experience, to situations that took me completely out of my comfort zone, and the more I achieved, the more confidence I built, and the bolder I got. You can do that too. Waterloo breeds leaders. There is something very special about the culture of innovation it fosters. The faculty here is outstanding. They teach you how to question, how to apply critical thinking, how to explore, how to solve. Your education has prepared you to take on some of our world's biggest challenges. So do it. Be bold, be brave, take risks, challenge yourself and others to think about things differently, to embrace the unknown with passion and purpose, and do not underestimate the potential you have to make a mark on this planet. We need young leaders to step up with confidence and courage to be change makers. With all that said, I do have a few pieces of advice to offer. Stay humble and stay curious. You do not know everything, and you never will, because circumstances change, situations change, people change. The person you are today will evolve as you experience the world. Embrace that growth, and it will refine you. Live with kindness and compassion. Pay attention to your intuition. It's the most powerful compass. When things seem off, when you start to feel something's not quite right, listen. Tell your story and authenticity. Your uniqueness is what differentiates you. Lean into that. Do not try to fit in. Try to stand out. Surround yourself with good people. You've built a network of classmates here. Continue to support each other. The friends I met at Waterloo are some of my dearest today. I would also encourage you to collaborate. You do not have to do it alone. There's an adage that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. For all the women in the audience, especially the women of color, there is a place for you at the highest levels of organizations and governments in this country. The road isn't always smooth, and the doors are not always wide open, but have confidence in yourself and know the value of your perspective. I'm here with you today because I have an amazing partner who is at home caring for our two incredible children. He's also a UW School of Pharmacy graduate. Quick shout out to all my future pharmacists out here in the crowd. I will always be grateful and indebted to Waterloo because here, through my education, I not only found my passion and my purpose, but I also found the love of my life. That's a pretty sweet deal, if you ask me. Finally, I want to acknowledge my mom and dad, who are here with me today, as well as my sister and brother, who, by the way, are also proud Waterloo alumni. I have been blessed with the most loving and supportive family who have cheered me on throughout my life. Good luck, graduating class of 2024. I'm looking forward to hearing all about the incredible ways that you have applied your education and all the successes you have achieved. I also look forward to learning from you because I know you have much to offer. So remember, dream big. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you so much, Danielle, for your inspiring address. It is now my pleasure to welcome your class valedictorian, Nikhil George. He is graduating today with a Doctor of Philosophy and Biology degree, and I'd like to welcome him to the podium to address Convocation. Welcome, Nikhil.
That was from a card that my nephew got me after my PhD defense, and I think it makes a great prelude to the obligatory beginning of every commencement speech. Class of 2024, we made it. Mr. Chancellor, members of Convocation, fellow graduates and guests, my name is Nikhil George, and it is an absolute honor to represent the Faculty of Science as its inaugural graduate valedictorian. I'd like to thank the faculty and the Institutional Selection Committee for giving me this fantastic opportunity. Being back on campus takes me back to the first time I visited to interview with my graduate supervisor. After we met, I was flooded with self-doubt. My solution? Before I even got on the bus back home, I emailed her saying that I'm 100% on board to join the group. And so, my journey at UW began. Since UW attracts talent from all over the world, and since science traverses geographical borders, it is likely that many of you have had to build a new community since you arrived here. Just as I had built mine, the COVID-19 pandemic began. With friendships lost and feelings of uncertainty gained, my mental health spiraled. Among others, dreaming of better days to come, I looked to the future, but I had no direction. People would often ask me the dreaded question, "What are your plans after school?" I had no idea. As students in science, we try to plan our experiments, rationalize, theorize, and measure everything we can. But the pandemic forced us to let go and trust the process. We don't have full control, and that's okay. During the final year of my PhD, I visited one of my friends working at the Joslin Diabetes Center in Boston. Situated around the corner is the Harvard Medical School campus, which captivated my attention. I found a research group there that ignited my interest, but was convinced I didn't have what it takes. So I didn't reach out. A few weeks later, while watching an episode of Shark Tank with my mom, one of my favorite pitches came from an entrepreneur that was educated at Harvard, and I took that as a sign. The next day, I told my mom, I want to apply for a postdoc at Harvard. And she laughed and said, "This is because of that Shark Tank episode, right?" Moms always know. I finally sent the email, and eventually, I got one back from who is now my postdoc supervisor at Harvard Medical School. Even if the path ahead is not clear, if you keep walking, eventually you will get to where you need to be. Now I know many of us in this room are no strangers to imposter syndrome, but sometimes I'm convinced I'm its mascot. Being raised in an immigrant family, an abusive household, and a single-parent household afterwards, I learned to doubt myself quite early. I neglected school, failed tests, exams, and classes. If you want to know how bad it got, in high school, one of my friends once asked me, "How did your test go?" I said, "I got a 27." And she said, "Out of what?" The only class I loved was biology, but I was removed from an advanced placement biology class so that stronger students could take my spot. Teachers, friends, guidance counselors, and even my principals advised me to pursue undergraduate studies outside of the sciences. Against their advice, I applied to life sciences, and I remember when I got an early acceptance, I was over the moon, ready to prove everyone wrong. When I logged in, I saw that it was an alternative offer to a non-science program. Part of me was convinced that they were right. Still, my desire to study biology remained, so I worked as hard as I could. I improved my grades, received the highest biology grade in my graduating class, and was able to study life sciences at the University of Toronto, and now receive my PhD in biology here at the University of Waterloo. I truly believe that passion can overcome all else, and that sometimes it is not external circumstances, but rather the stories we tell ourselves that limit us. Now, you might think that with my background, a PhD and a postdoc at Harvard would have had me on cloud 9, but those feelings escaped me. Looking back, I realized it wasn't the awards, it wasn't the papers, it wasn't the conferences or even finishing that made me the happiest. What made me the happiest was seeing how far I had come and the people that were with me throughout my journey. By focusing my attention there, I have since found far more self-confidence and fulfillment. I would like you all to now take a moment to consider the challenges that you've faced in your life, academic or otherwise. Put yourselves back in the shoes that you once wore and think about whether you thought you would make it here. And now, think about the people that helped make this possible. Perhaps they're in this room, maybe you've lost touch with them, or maybe they're no longer with us. But in some way, in your accomplishments today and hereafter, you will always carry a part of them with you. I think of my brother Joseph, who never stopped believing in me, and my mother Nina, who worked countless hours to support her boys. Look back to where you started and express gratitude for those that helped you get to where you are. Because unlike feelings during moments of success, gratitude is a feeling that endures. I sincerely congratulate you for all your hard work and achievements and for all that you've endured. Waterloo Warriors, endure. Graduation is just the beginning, and even if you don't know what's next, or if you are left with feelings of apathy, that's okay. You will find your path and figure out what makes you light up. Thank you very much.
Good evening again. My name is Chris Hauser, and as the Dean of the Faculty of Science, I am honored to stand before you today to celebrate the remarkable achievements of our graduates. Class of 2024, all your hard work, dedication, and commitment to your education has paid off. You are now Faculty of Science graduates and a newly minted University of Waterloo alumni. We are so proud of everything you've accomplished during your time here in the Faculty of Science. After countless hours writing research papers, many late nights in the lab, and years of dedication to your educational experience, you will now take everything you've learned from your faculty, your TAs, and each other with you forward. I also know that your educational is far more than what you learn in the classroom or lab. Often the most important lessons happen outside of class time. Whether you took a lead role with SOFS-CAPSI or one of our many program clubs like SciSoc, discovered through undergraduate research in the lab or in the field, studied abroad and got your hands dirty, innovated with Velocity Science, or applied yourself through a co-op experience, the lessons you learn through these experiences will shape you as much as your classroom learning. Earlier this year, we launched a new program, the Ideal Scholars Program, to celebrate undergraduate extracurricular and academic achievements, and I'm proud to say they're adding many more Ideal Scholars here tonight. I'm happy to recognize the innovation, discovery, engagement, application, and leadership of our students through this program. It is yet another reason why Waterloo Science students stand out from the crowd. Once you cross this stage, a new chapter of your life begins. Your next step may be graduate research here at Waterloo, maybe a postdoc at Harvard, joining a professional program, or beginning your career in the workforce as a new PharmD grad. But wherever you are headed, you are taking a leap into something new. This can be a time of great uncertainty, but as scientists, we are trained to deal with the unexpected, and maybe we even welcome it. That is where we can be challenged, where we can adapt, and where we can push the boundaries of what we are capable of. We embrace the unknown, challenge the status quo, and continue to ask the tough questions that lead to meaningful discoveries. It's clear now more than ever, the world needs science, and it's looking to you, our Waterloo Science graduates, to lead the way. You have the potential to shape the future, to advance scientific understanding, and to make a lasting impact on the world. As you move forward, know that the University of Waterloo Science community stands with you, cheering you on every step of the way. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to welcome Vivek Goel, President and Vice Chancellor, back to the podium, and congratulations, graduates.
Thank you, Dean Hauser. To our graduates, my heartfelt congratulations. Today, you recognize your hard work and accomplishments. we celebrate your individual and collective successes. Would the members of the graduating class please rise? You got to get up if you want to graduate. Mr. Chancellor, I present to you those scholars who fulfilled the statutory requirements laid down by the Senate of the University, that they may be admitted to their various and several degrees.
By virtue of the authority vested in me and in the university, I hereby admit you to your various and several degrees, with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereto appertaining.
Please be seated. Congratulations, you've got your degrees. As you cross the stage today, you're going to join our global community of more than 250,000 alumni. Please stay connected and connect with those alumni around the world. As we prepare to award your degrees, there are a few housekeeping items I want to keep in mind. Guests, we ask that you please stay in your seats as your graduate crosses the stage. Professional photos are being taken of all graduates, and there's plenty of time to take photos afterwards. Graduates, this is your moment to celebrate. As you cross the stage, face the audience, smile, wave to your supporters, do a dance. We ask that you show respect to all your fellow graduates by returning to your seat after crossing the stage, so that we can all share in this celebration together. We will start with our doctoral graduates, followed by our masters, and then bachelors. And now, the moment that you've all been waiting for. It's time to present the degrees for the Faculty of Science.
Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Lauren Catherine Banks. Accompanied by Theo, Dr. Bruno de Souza Leao Torres. You have to wait when the Chancellor wants a picture. You can't really say no. It's his first day. Dr. Samuel Dubinsky. Dr. Nikhil George. Dr. Noah Greenberg. Accompanied by Caius, Dr. Shayan Majidi. Hold on, I want a picture of the picture. Dr. Chun Chong Rufus Nee. Dr. Sungyun Oh. Dr. Dalila Pirwu. Dr. Daniel Anthony Rickert. Dr. Nachikeeth Sherlaker. Dr. Avery Joseph Toe. Dr. Norman Tran. Dr. Yue Shu. Dr. Brian Christopher Uden. Dr. Yi Chen Zhao. Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Master of Science. Jude Fathi Abdelwa Abu Farah, Mehdi Alatrach, Binti Baby. Megan Byers, Erin Margaret Aurora Griffiths, Michael Starr Hamill. Emmeline Marielle Gentz, Philip Johnson, Maureen Francis Latimer. Grace Lu Cowell, Xiaoyue Liu, Sandra Mazur. Ian Matthew Hendry McDonald, Emily Jean McKenzie, Alan Bao Hui Nguyen. Yasemin Panahi, Matthew Scott Pyatt, Madeline Rosalia Prater. Rishab Sakiba Shanaz, Navid Shasavari. Hillary Nicole Wilson, David Xing He Zia. Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science, General Science, 3-year. Brianna Agroya. Afira Asan. Toby Buckman Chow. Ali Rahim Hirji. Baba Karbasi. Vivian Lamb. Tanika Maheswaran. Sarah Najib. Michelle Poitras. Bobby Shankar Srivamathavan. Mr. Chancellor, I present the candidates for the degree Bachelor of Science Honors Program. Ehiman Atsaye. Olasubomi Mutaale Adeyemi. Seth Konas Allen. Taksha Ananta Shankar. Andrew James Aquino. Sarah Sahana Aravindan. Amanda Megan Armstrong. Ruth Bursan. Andrew Francis Brehout. Chloe Castell. Hansen Hon San Chan. Matthew Gerard Charbonneau. Stephanie Chen. Tyler Ose Kobina. Keegan Harold Colvin. Patrick Rafal Constant. Philip Cowan. Michelle Ruby Dang. Hongji Deng. Samrawit Desta. Jacob Devi. Chloe Sarah Dinsmore. Emily Ann Dodsworth. Amelia Doltano. Ethan Evenson. Zaim Farid. Haley Farrell. Ashley Ferreira. Emma Elizabeth Fielding. Yvonne Fung. Hazel Christine Gifford. Gersharon Graywall. Holly Elizabeth Grierson. Kartika Grover. Sijia Guo. Tanya Hart. Tammy Huynh. Omosefe Jessica Idahosa. Ijeoma Mavis Ihedimbu. Kaliani Iyer. Ananya Jaiswal. Aruna Rehana Khan. Ato Kumsun. Julian Landers. Colin Lau. Brandon John Lefebvre. Matthew Lee. Sinli Ma. Kimia Marandi. Danny Meng. Sharon Mueni. Laiba Mujib. Brittany May Nako. Puntso Namgal. Sarah Ogilvie. Oluwatoni Jessica Oguntunde. Madison Page Victoria Oliphant. Esoso Omoregbe. Jordan Darren Onishko. David Pham. Michael Christopher Pires. Gayatri Pushparaj. Tasmia Rahman. Amanda Jean Regan. Jay Romero. Mohammed Farhan Siddiqui. Megan Leslie Selkirk. Mandalina Sequeira. Aryan Apurva Shah. Shiny Zavina Shanawaz. Jason Shao. Madhav Sharma. Tihomir Slatinovsky. James William McLaren Smith. Sukman Kaur Sodhi. Gurleen Sohal. Kobe Sims. Rosie May Tate. Janat Kaur Thind. Patrick Scott Thomas. Vivian Phuong V. Tran Viet. Catherine Shearhart. Alexandra Maria Vasiliou. Quinlin Wu. Wilson Wu. Jing Xuan Shu. Eva Yevarovich. Jesse Chow. Mr. Chancellor, I now present the candidates for the degree Doctor of Pharmacy Cooperative Program. I always learn to wait when you announce the pharmacy because the cheer is always coming. Dr. Christopher Buenviaje Academia. Neeraj Agarwal. Rend Albayati. Parsa Ali. Valerie Seduen Andres. Yasmin Karim Atabani. Jaskaran Singh Atwal. Ashraf Ewad. Joyce Ayad. Nuha Ayub. Melinda Bai. Prabjot Singh Bains. Rima Bardwaj. Dana Borowick. Brooke Ann Bouchard. Avery Brown. Tyler Behut. Megan Jane Byer. Kevin Dukhui Chow. Rosa Chen. Cassandra Victoria Chong. Michaela Linda Comrie. Heather Lynn Costello. Catherine Deng. Simranjeet Kaur Dosanjh. Connie Drake. Ahmed El Hamaida. Sarah Mohammed El Koftangi. Taylor Eileen Forcier. Ethan James Foster. Lena Gulam. Jasdeep Kaur Gill. Rubina Kaur Gill. Irene Jayu Guo. Susan Ha. Madonna Hannah. Monica Hanna. Sarah Hanna. William Hanna. Catherine Gabriel Hatab. Doris Hung. Mohammed El Hadi Hussein. Jennifer Huynh. Bhavani Jain. Sonia Jain. Smita Jariwala. Corina Juris. Sapna Karwal. Amen Ladak. Genia Lamb. Kaylin Marie Langford. Amy Juyeon Lee. Jeremy Lee. Ji Young Lee. Susanna Jia Chi Liu. Stephanie Ka Yi Lo. Carol Lopez. Shirley Ma. Jamie Lee Mayu. Carter Bradley Matheson. Blair McCullough. Foxton Mesenberg. Victoria Miknovskaya. Kiarash Moazami. Fadi Ashraf Morkos. Natasha Renee Mullins. Jeffrey Chun Hae Ing. Linda Nguyen. Olivia Ijeoma Nwakocha. Dua Osman. Julia Palisco. Alexandra Jamie Pensos. Benita Patel. Mansi Patel. Armita Rabinia. Abir Raza. Lindsay Ann Rodwell. Hassan Saleh. Verena Samir Michael Salib. Arit Sandhu. Sarah Mackenzie Schultz. Alia Sheikh. Zunaisha Shoaib. Brittany Ann Snow. Ria Soni. Stefan Shivan Sukbir. Jillian Page Squires. Samuel Adam Stevenson. David Stewart. Stephen Robert Strait. Wanusa Subramaniam. Ivana Siu Pik Tang. Christopher Tanus. Kayla Timms. Christine Tu. Christina Ann Topari. Maxine Wag. Claire Eileen Janet Weaver. Sarah Wong. Christy Zisan Wong. Stephanie Rachel Jakubowski. Sophie Jianglan Yi. Sonia Hoi Ching Young. Andy Zhang. So, Mr. Chancellor, you're taking selfies with everybody. They're taking selfies with you. We installed you this morning. Can we just get a quick selfie before the last grad? Okay, here we go. One each. I'm sorry you have to follow that, but you're last. You get the biggest applause. Here we go. Grace Zhu. Please join me in congratulating all the graduates from the Faculty of Science.
Mr. Chancellor, I now request you to confer in absentia the various and several degrees upon those candidates who were approved by Senate but were unable to be present at today's convocation.
I confer the degrees in absentia.
Thank you. To our graduates and new alumni, congratulations on this accomplishment. Wish to extend a special thank you to our dedicated team of staff, faculty, and volunteers for making this ceremony so memorable. Thank you to our alumni speaker, Danielle Pace, for your inspiring address. Thank you to all the family and friends who've gathered here today to join our graduates in this celebration and for supporting them during their academic journey. And to our new graduates, thank you. You are now officially part of our alumni community. Take the knowledge and inspiration that you have acquired here at Waterloo, as many before you have, and make a difference in the world. As you have benefited from attending Waterloo, this institution has benefited from having you as a part of our community. I wish you all the best in the future. It is my pleasure to welcome back Elder Dr. Mayangan Henry, Indigenous Knowledge Keeper.
You know, there's a word in Ojibwe language, when you greet each other, you say ani. Ani is kind of like how we would say hi to somebody we haven't seen in a while, or somebody we just met. But I want to let you know that that word doesn't just mean hello. It means I see your light. And if you look at what we've seen as you cross the stage, I've seen your light shine so bright. And that's what our elders used to talk about. When we reach a point, a milestone like today, you shine. And everybody was shining, glowing. Families were laughing and smiling. It's just such a good feeling to watch what you did today and all the work that you've done to get here. But today, instead of just saying goodbye to you, our elders would never do that. They would feed you, they would bring you some tea or something to make sure you had some nourishment. But what they like to do is they like to get everybody to join in a circle. And imagine each and every one of you, who you got to know people, friends became really close. Maybe they got you through some hard times, or maybe they were just there, to make you, help you through your journey in education. So we'll sit in a circle. In our minds, we'll just consider being in a thing we call a lodge. If you can imagine saplings of trees, like bent over and reaching in the center. And inside that lodge will be all of us sitting in that circle. But in the middle of it will be a nice fire. And for those of you that like to go camping, you know what it feels like to sit around a fire on a nice evening, watching the stars. Just such a comfortable feeling. So as you're sitting in a circle with all your fellow students, I want you to meet two elders that walk into the room. When you see an elder sometimes, you can just tell that they have wisdom or they have thought and knowledge. It just radiates from them. And imagine these two elders walking into your circle, an elder male and an elder female, a grandma and a grandfather. We say nokomis and mishomis in our language. And they look at every one of you. They watch, they say, Ani, I see your light. But they also see that you've developed something in your being. You're strong. You've learned something in these years at university. And they're going to ask you a very specific question. They said that what you did learn and what you're going to do with your knowledge now, we hope that you can relate that to the planet that gives you food and water, the place that we are born onto, and we hope to leave it better for our future generations, for your children and grandchildren. These elders are wise because they know what they'd like to see happen in your life is what they improved. And so this is what they're asking of you in the circle tonight. Whatever you've done in science or whatever area, think about how that's going to improve the next generation. And you'll make these elders very happy because this is what they hoped that you achieved along with the education that you have. So they'll say it's time to leave the circle now. They'll say it's time to go and meet your families and go out and enjoy your accomplishments. But they want to leave you in a certain way. They said that this world is kind of shy to talk about love the way it should be, in a good way. The elders would say, Zagidduin in our language. And that means we love you. We love you with all our being, with all the light that you shine. And take that love and possess that and bring it to the world, because when I see the world today, we need more of that. And we need to be able to express it and talk about it. And let's do that when we can. Life isn't guaranteed. We don't know how long we'll be here, but we can say, today, we love you. Zagidduin. Chimigwech, everybody. Have a great evening. It was so honored to be with you.
A little mic malfunction. Elder Henry, I want to say we love you. When you're in the room, we can feel the wisdom. And today, thank you for everything you've shared with us, and the heartiest congratulations on becoming Dr. Henry. We are grateful for your contributions and those of the Cedar Hill singers to today's ceremony. These contributions are an important reminder of the work underway and the work that is still to be done in recognizing all the historical and ongoing wrongs perpetrated against Indigenous peoples and the legacy of colonialism still in place today. My first official day as ceremonial head of the university concludes, and I have the privilege of saying, Convocation is officially adjourned. Please rise, if able, and stay at your place while the stage party departs. Thank you.